Hey guys, GadgetGiant here. Today I'm going to test the speed of the newly released iPad and see how it compares to the iPod Touch. Now you may be shaking your head saying the iPad is going to crush the iPod Touch speed-wise, but I'm just using the iPod Touch as a constant so you can see how the speed of the iPad goes against the iPod Touch, because the iPod Touch and the first released iPad are about the same speed web surfing wise, and with the new release of 4.3, Apple is saying that the speed of Safari has risen, and it should be interesting to see if they're really telling the truth here. Both devices are on 4.3, of course, so let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, so we're going to go to test three websites, all of which are extremely content heavy. These three websites are CNN.com, NewYorkPost.com, and TechnoBuffalo.com. The history has been deleted from all of these devices, so it should be a pretty fair race. Although the iPad will certainly probably win because it's got a faster processor due to its larger body, so that Apple can fit faster processors in. I'm just using again the iPod Touch 4th generation as a constant, so you can basically compare it to the iPad, as I do not have an iPad with me right now. So let's go ahead and go to CNN.com here. Let's go to CNN.com. We're going to go ahead and hit go simultaneously, and the iPad is already almost done. They're both neck and neck. The iPad is fully loaded. You can tell there's no blue bar, and there still is a blue bar going on for the iPod Touch. So that's about a 5-second difference. So when it comes to web browsing, it's definitely faster right away. So let's go ahead and open a new tab. We're going to keep all these tabs open to see how well both devices can handle. So now let's let's go ahead and go to New York Post. It's not searching in Google. Alright, let's go to New Post. Alright, we're going to go ahead and go simultaneously again. Again, the iPad is almost done. The iPad is officially done. There's no more white, and the iPod Touch is right behind it. They're both loaded up. The iPad, of course, did load up quite faster. There's a quick ad there. But now we're both on the New York Post's website. And so, as far as the New York Post go, which is quite content heavy, it's basically the same. Now let's go ahead and open up one of the same article. There's a Brooklyn cop killed after being pushed off a porch. So if we hold the titles, we're going to both open in the new page and see if that makes a difference right there. Let's go ahead and click open a new page, release at the same time. Both open a new tab. The iPad and the iPod Touch are basically done at the same time. The iPod Touch was a little faster, mainly because it didn't really reload the page as the iPad did. Let's go ahead and close out of that tab. Now let's go to our final website, one of my favorites, TechnoBuffalo.com. Let's go ahead and search it right here. There we go. Technobuffalo. There we go. Let's get it on here. Alright. Alright, so let's go ahead and search it here. Click at the same time, go again, hold it down, and release. Again, they're off. Zoom in a little bit. Move the iPod Touch closer. And the iPad is basically done. The iPod Touch still has a white screen, whereas the iPad has an almost entire blue bar, and it is finished loading. You can literally go to another article before this one is done. This one is still trying to get on to TechnoBuffalo's main server. We're reading an article. We can even open this in a new page before it loads. This is even TechnoBuffalo's mobile website, whereas this is TechnoBuffalo's main website. You're viewing this in real time. This is not their mobile, and you can literally open the new article in a different page before it even has finished loading. So as you can tell, the processor on the iPad 2 is definitely a step up browsing wise by going to new tabs and anything like that. Google is also extremely fast on this iPad. It's definitely a great decision if you're a businessman or even just searching around the house. Of course, this is on Wi-Fi, so it is a little bit faster. We're on the same signal, same number of bars. We've got 2 out of 3 bars for both devices. This one is still loading, and the iPod Touch is quite a fast device, and for the iPad to just beat it by 30 seconds at least is something definitely to accomplish, and definitely a step up from the iPad 1, considering I've watched speed tests of the iPod Touch 4th generation and the iPad 1, and there's basically no competition because both of them are the same exact speed. Whereas the iPad 2 has definitely crushed the iPod Touch 4th generation speed-wise, going to Techno Buffalo. As far as going to CNN and New York Post-wise, both of them were pretty close to being the same. But something to note, the iPod Touch sometimes does refresh, like it's doing right now before you read your online news stories, whereas the iPad, it stays on the same website. It does not refresh. So thanks guys for watching. This has been a speed test of the iPad 2 versus the iPod Touch 4th generation. Tell me what you think in the comments, and if you want to see anything more like this regarding the iPad 2 or even the iPod Touch, I've got a few videos coming out later this week. Tell me what you think of this video. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day.